Hi, slope-intercept form.
Today we're going to be talking about slope-intercept form and standard form and how to graph a line using y-intercept and, ta-da,
X-intercept.
there's two intercepts.
Let's do it. Okay, so what is the x-intercept?
So if y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, then x-intercept is obvi where it crosses the x-axis. Wow, it's a mouthful. So we're going to teach you how to find x-intercept, and then we'll show you how to graph it.
Okay.
So first it says, state the x and y intercepts of this equation, y equals 1.5x minus 9. Then use intercepts to graph the equation. So the first thing we need to do is find the y-intercept.
Okay.
Obviously we know where that is, because it's y equals mx plus b.
Okay.
So I know that my y-intercept is negative 9.
Perfect. Y-intercept, negative 9.
Now, do you like them to write it as 0, negative 9, and then ordered pair? I'm okay with it like
Yeah,
this too.
I'm okay with that.
As long as you know that negative 9 is on that y-axis, you can write it like this.
Yep.
Okay, so then to solve for your x-intercept, you plug in a 0 where y is.
So solve for x-intercept, plug in a 0.
For y.
Okay.
And then you just solve for whatever it says for x. So you should write that down in your little notes. So we're going to take our equation. Ooh, that was fancy. We're going to put a big fat 0 where the y is, and plug and chug.
So we're solving for x because that's my only variable left.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So add 9.
To both sides. I'm left with 9 equals 1.5x. We'll do we'll divide both sides by 1.5 to get x by itself. And we will be left with x equals something. And we have a little handy calculator still. Is it going to be slow? Okay, you want me to go grab my, hold on, go pause. I got my calculator.
Yes.
So 9 divided by 1.5 equals 6. So x equals 6.
X-intercept is 6.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is your x-intercept. So when you go and graph this, here's what you guys need to do now. You have a little sticky graph. Peel the back of your graph, the sticker off, and stick it on this page where you can, and draw an arrow that this is where we're going to graph, because it says, then use the intercepts to graph. Here's what a graph of this will look like. Pause if you need to, and then rewind back to this if you need to. So here's what it would look like. You go ahead and put negative 9 on the y-axis, where
The y is labeled. Y always goes up and down. So go down to negative 9.
Put a dot.
Okay.
Your x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis.
Again,
6.
it's labeled x. Go over to 6. Put a dot.
And then take your ID or whatever straight edge you have and connect the two dots. But again, remember that it's really important that your line goes from one side of the graph to the other. We don't want a little dinky graph right in the middle.
The whole graph with arrows on the end. Tells us that it goes on.
Okay, so there's how you do it.
Okay, so the main takeaway was we already knew how to find the y-intercept from slope-intercept form. Then to find the x-intercept, we just plug in that 0 for y.
To solve for x.
Got it.
So here's a couple more examples. So let's do this one together, and then we'll have you do number B on your own. So y-intercept in this case, I know, is positive 5.
Okay?
Because that's slope-intercept form.
Right, it's identified for us.
Now I have to solve for the x-intercept. So we're going to write our equation and plug in 0 for y so that we can solve for x.
And then we just do as we've been doing.
Do as we have done.
You got it. So negative
5 equals negative 1/3 x. Now, here's where we get rid of that 1/3 or negative 1/3 by multiplying by the reciprocal times 3 over 1 times the other side.
Negative 3 over 1.
Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. So times negative 3 over 1. So that cancels. We have x equals, or x, whatever. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15.
Okay.
So when we graph these, my x-intercept is 15.
Okay.
All we have to do is pop little dots on my graph.
Got it. So let's start with y-intercept first.
Okay.
Go up to 5. So I see 4, Ooh, and then it goes up to 8.
So that means that middle one is 6.
Okay, so it's going by 2s.
Yep.
So go halfway between 4 and the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So that's where 5 is on the y-axis.
15.
On the x-axis.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, halfway to 16.
And then we can connect the dots.
With our straight edge.
Boom, boom, boom.
Little off here.
It's okay.
Again, notice how we went the whole distance of the graph,
All the way across.
and then we come back and add our arrows.
Okay, so what we want you to do, try number B. It's the exact same steps as we did in number A. Go ahead and pause now.
All right, so here we go. We have our equation. We
Mhm.
wrote it down. I identified that y-intercept was 3 because that's given.
Mhm.
So I plotted my point there.
Yeah, I like how you did it as you went.
Perfect. Down here, I solved, plugged in my 0 for y,
Mhm.
solved it out, and I have 2 equals my x-intercept.
So we're gonna pop that 2 on the x-axis right there, and then just connect the
You
dots.
got it with your
La la
straight
la
edge.
la. They probably don't even know what that is. Do you even know what that is?
No, I have no idea what you said.
Connect the dots. La 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 la. It's Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, I know Pee-wee, but
Anyway, okay, so let's look at standard form. Okay, standard form is a different form of the same equation, of a linear equation, and it is written ax plus by equals c, and a has to be greater than 0, and it cannot be negative.
okay,
The end.
done.
So this is where you're going to write an equation with 2 different variables happening at the same time. So let's look at this. It says Maudlin Middle School wants to make $4,740 from yearbooks. Print yearbooks X. So let's write that. Let's highlight that or write that down somewhere. We know that yearbooks is X. Okay, and it costs $60. Digital yearbooks are Y, and they cost $15. Ooh, I don't even.
No, that's a
It's a bargain, but I think I want a
think so, too.
hardback. That's one
Yeah.
thing that I think I still want. Anyway, this can be represented using the equation 60x, because it's $60 per yearbook,
$6 per yearbook.
or for the hardback, and then plus 15y,
For the digital.
15 times y was the yearbooks that are digital,
Mhm.
and they want to equal $4,750. 40, sorry. So here's what you do. It says use the x-intercepts and y-intercepts to graph the equation. So
Okay.
if you're solving for x-intercept, set y to 0, and it's right there.
Oh, jeez.
I saved you some
You
writing. So find the x-intercept, set y equals to 0. To find the y-intercept, set x equal to 0. So let's do x first, since it comes first in the alphabet.
Okay.
So we're going to solve for the x-intercept. We are going to set y equal to 0. So 60x plus 15 times 0 equals 4740. Awesome.
So this becomes nothing.
Right, that goes away
Right.
because 15 times 0 is big fat goose egg. So 60x equals 4740. Oh, good thing I have this.
Divide by 60 on both sides.
X
And what do you have?
equals 79.
Okay.
So that's my x-intercept.
Be sure to always identify that it is the x-intercept, because if you just write x is 79, that's something different.
Totally different. We need to know that that's x-intercept, so write x-intercept.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're going to solve for the y-intercept.
Okay, int. So we just start the same way.
But this time we're going to set x equal to 0,
Mm-hmm.
and then plus 15y equals 4740.
So that becomes nothing. 15y equals 4740. Divide by 15. Hope you're writing all this
You
down.
better be writing all this down.
Y equals,
Oops.
I don't know if you can see this.
4740 divided by 15. 316. What are you doing?
Well, our faces.
Oh, okay.
316.
Okay. So again, take your sticky graph, stick it on there somewhere, and plot those 2 points. We don't have a graph to do this, but
You guys know
you
how to
do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to, and you can estimate on here where 79 is on your x-axis, where 316 is on your y-axis. Connect the dots. Okay.
Same thing, just happened to be a real world situation here.
Okay, so this is what your graph should look like. If spoiler alert, there it is. So now what we're going to do is interpret these intercepts.
Okay,
So
what do you mean by interpret?
Well, interpret means to tell me relate it back to the problem.
Okay,
Okay,
so make it real.
make it real, relate it to the yearbooks.
Got it.
So I know that okay, so let's look at the Y first.
Okay.
It is 316, right?
Mhm.
So that's 316, looks like dollars,
Digital yearbooks.
or no, is that an amount of yearbooks?
What did it reference there?
I think amount of yearbooks, that's
I think
right,
It was amount too.
amount. So 316 yearbooks and 0 paper yearbooks. So what that means is, in order to have that $4,740, if I sold 316 digital yearbooks and no regular yearbooks, I would have the amount of money that I need.
0 paper.
And then vice versa. If they want to have $4,740, they only need to sell 80 paper yearbooks and 0 digital yearbooks.
Okay.
It's easy as that.
And no.
Digitals.
So the cool thing here, guys, is if we ask you, what if we sell 40 paper yearbooks? Well, now you can just read this. You can go over to 40 paper.
I need 150 digitals.
There you go. So it
So-
applies anywhere in between
Yeah,
those.
all along there. It's awesome. Okay, so cool. So here's what we want you to do. Read this. We want you to solve yourself for X and Y intercept. Pop it on that graph, and it says then interpret. We'll come back with the answer in just a second. Go ahead and pause. All right.
There you go.
So we plugged in 0 where we needed to and plotted our X and Y intercepts. Our X intercept was 38.3, Y intercept is 115, and go all the way down. Now, interpreting this means that I can have 115 drinks and I'll make $230, 115 drinks and no sandwiches, or 38.3, so it's probably about 30, but you can't really have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
39-ish sandwiches and no drinks. And I'm gonna,
So we always need to relate it to the real world.
Yes.
So we couldn't have 38.3
No.
round up.
yeah, you can't
Okay.
buy 0.3 of a sandwich unless
Okay.
you're a good sense. All right, and no drinks. So anyways, there's your X and Y intercepts interpretations.
Okay. On these railroad graphs, guys, we didn't mention this. You don't put arrows on these because you can't go past those 2 points.
Oh, good call.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's your guided practice. Again, reference back to example 1 in your notes or 2 and 3 in your notes,
Mhm.
and we will see you.
On the flip side.
Sayonara.